Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Summer here to talk about lesson 605C, moles to grams conversions. So the goal for this lesson is to convert moles of a substance to grams of that same substance using your molar mass. Remember to have out your periodic table and your conversion chart. So here's a real world example of how moles of something to grams of something is used in the real world. So bakers often use mass to create delicious desserts. It allows them to have more accurate ratio of ingredients. And in baking, it's really important to have very specific quantities of different ingredients. So for example, bakers would need to know how many eggs it takes to have 400 grams of egg white. Most recipes call for eggs to be at room temperature before using. If the baker takes out too many eggs, they run the risk of having the extra eggs sit out at room temperature, which can increase the risk of salmonella. If they take out too few eggs, they won't have enough eggs at the right temperature when they need to use them. Remember, for counting molar mass, you count the number of atoms, you multiply the number of atoms by the mass from the periodic table, and in our class we're going to round to 2 decimal places, and then add all of the atomic masses together. So what is the conversion factor between moles and mass? The definition of molar mass is the amount of 1 mole of an element, or is the amount 1 mole of an element or molecules weighs in grams. So 1 mole equals your molar mass in grams. So we can write this as molar mass in grams over 1 mole, or 1 mole over molar mass in grams. You will always, wherever your mole is, it's always going to say 1 mole in your conversion factor. So that means before you can set up your railroad tracks or your parentheses, you need to first calculate the molar mass for the substance you are using in the problem. So in your map, you need to fill in this aspect of your conversion chart. So moles in the middle, mass in grams with the little scales. And then molar mass is equal to 1 mole. So how many grams are in 8.2 moles of calcium fluoride? So I first have to find my molar mass. So in calculating the molar mass, I determined that calcium fluoride molar mass is 78.08 grams per 1 mole. So I am given, now I need to fill in my railroad tracks. I'm given the number of moles. And remember, for your railroad tracks, we want to know, we want to get rid of moles. So moles will go on the bottom and my grams will go on top. And in this space is this number. So my grams would be 78.08 and I would have 1 mole on the bottom. So my moles cancel and I do 8.2 times 78.08. And when I multiply those two, I get 640.26 grams. CAF2. Okay, and I rounded my answer to 2 decimal places. You try. Convert from moles to mass. How many grams are in 3.2 moles of Li2S? I first determined my molar mass. My molar mass is 45.94 grams per 1 mole. So then I set up my railroad tracks. My railroad tracks should look like this, where my moles are, what I'm given is on the far left, and then on the bottom, my 1 mole of lithium oxide is on the bottom, because I want my moles to cancel. And when I calculate those values, so now I need to do 3.2 times 45.9. And my answer is 147.011 gram per 1 mole.